In this video, we're training the first unseen cybersecurity responder, often a SOC analyst, sysadmin, or on-call engineer, on what to do before a full digital forensics team arrives. Think of this like an electronic crime scene. Your early decisions can protect or accidentally destroy critical evidence. We'll focus on practical TTPs, tactics, the goals, techniques, how you do them, and procedures, the step-by-step routine. We'll also keep one guiding tension in mind. You may need to stop harm quickly, but every action changes a system. Our aim is a defensible record. What happened, what you observed, what you touched, and why. This is not legal advice. Always follow your organization's policies and coordinate with counsel when the incident could lead to litigation or law enforcement involvement. You can download the video script from the link below. Here's our running scenario. It's 9:12 a.m. You get an alert. Thousands of files rapidly renamed and encrypted on a finance server. The business wants it stopped now. Leadership wants answers later, and legal may need evidence. If this turns into insurance claims, employee action, vendor disputes, or criminal prosecution. In this situation, you'll make 3 parallel moves. Preserve what's fragile, document everything, and control who touches what. I want you to picture the scene. People walking in and out of a server room, admins logging in just to check, someone rebooting because that fixes it. Those are the moments that ruin timelines and chain of custody. So we're going to slow down just enough to do the right things in the right order. Let's define TTPs for first responders. The tactic is the mission: keep people safe, prevent further damage, and preserve evidence integrity. The techniques are the moves you choose: restricting access, isolating systems from networks, capturing volatile data, and preserving logs. The procedures are your repeatable checklist. Start an incident log, assign evidence identifiers, record who handled what, and store artifacts securely. Why so formal? Because later, someone will ask, how do we know this file, this log, this screenshot is authentic? Evidence is only useful if you can explain where it came from and how it stayed unaltered. In our ransomware scenario, the first responder mindset is pause, preserve, document, then act. Before you touch systems, confirm you're authorized by policy, contract, or legal process. This matters in both private and public sectors. The classic mistake is digging around in user content, mailboxes, or cloud accounts without the right approvals, then discovering you've created legal exposure and tainted evidence. Start a legal hold early, when litigation is plausible. It tells the organization not to delete potentially relevant data, like logs, tickets, emails, chats, and backups. In our scenario, that means pausing log rotations if possible, and ensuring EDR telemetry isn't overwritten. Also remember, in court, evidence must be shown to be what you claim it is. Authentication is foundational. Your documentation practices today are what make that possible tomorrow. Scene preservation starts with access control. Physically, limit who's in the room. Digitally, limit who's logging in, and stop well-meaning helpers from running tools that change state. In our ransomware case, the attacker may still have a session, so you want to isolate affected hosts to stop spread, but do it thoughtfully. Often the least destructive first step is to disconnect network interfaces or block traffic at a switch/firewall level, while keeping power on long enough to preserve volatile evidence if you're trained and authorized to capture it. If you see active destruction, like wiping, some guidance recommends stopping it immediately, even pulling power, but only with clear documentation and understanding of trade-offs. The key is, choose the minimum action that prevents further harm while preserving evidence. Now we triage. Open an incident log immediately. a running narrative with timestamps. Who notified you, what you observed, actions you took, and why. Next, think order of volatility. Some data disappears fast. RAM, running processes, network connections, while disks and backups are more persistent. If you're trained and your organization allows live response, you capture volatile artifacts first. If you're not trained, your tactic is preservation by non-interference. Isolate and wait for DFIR. Either way, record time carefully. Differences between host clocks and log source clocks can break timelines, so document your observed system time and relevant NTP/SIM references. Documentation is your superpower. It turns messy reality into a defensible story. Start wide, photos of the area, then go close. Screens, error messages, ransomware notes, open windows, and system status indicators. Record the device state. Powered on, locked, sleeping, or off. Document connections. Network cables, USB devices, external drives, and any wireless access points involved. A quick sketch of what connects to what often saves hours later. In the ransomware scenario, you'd capture the ransom note on screen, the hostname IP logged in user, and any visible process or encryption tool window, without clicking around. The rule of thumb is, observe and record what's visible. Don't start touring the file system. Chain of custody answers. Who had it? When, why, and what changed? Give every item an evidence ID, drives, images, log exports, screenshots, even a USB collection disk. Record each transfer. Person, date/time, purpose, and storage location. For digital files, integrity is usually demonstrated with cryptographic hashes, recorded at acquisition and verified later, and keep originals protected. Work from verified copies whenever possible. In our scenario, if you export logs from a SIM or EDR platform, treat that export like evidence. Record the query parameters, time range, export method, and file hash. This is how you defend authenticity under questioning, whether by auditors, opposing counsel, or a court. Live response is powerful and risky because it changes the system. Only do it if your organization authorizes it and you're trained. When appropriate, collect RAM first, especially if encryption or in-memory malware is suspected. Then capture process lists, active network connections, logged-in users, and key system information. Use known good tools from controlled media and keep a transcript of every command you run. In the ransomware scenario, RAM may contain encryption keys, attacker sessions, or command history you can't recover after shutdown. Finally, treat outputs as evidence. Store them on controlled media, record hashes, and document exactly where the files came from. Non-volatile evidence is your durable record. Disk images, snapshots, log archives, configurations, and administrative records. The goal is to preserve a reliable copy without changing the original. In many environments, first responders won't image disks on scene, but you can preserve cloud snapshots, export EDR telemetry, and secure key logs quickly before they roll over. In our ransomware case, that includes affected host logs, authentication logs, file access logs, backup job logs, firewall logs, proxy logs, DNS logs, and SIM correlations. Also preserve paper trail data. Incident tickets, chat messages, email notifications, and change management records. These often become critical in civil cases, where the question is, what did the organization know and when? Modern incidents rarely stay on one box. Evidence may live in SaaS audit logs, cloud control planes, and managed security platforms, so your techniques shift to preservation by export and snapshot. For cloud hosts, consider snapshots of affected volumes and instances. For SaaS, preserve audit logs, access logs, and administrative change history, and place mailboxes or collaboration spaces under hold when appropriate. The big procedural requirement. Document identifiers and scope, tenant ID, subscription/account, region, resource names, time range, and the exact steps used to export. In our scenario, if ransomware arrived via a compromised cloud admin account, cloud audit trails and identity provider logs may be the single most important evidence set. Witness handling is often skipped in cyber, but it matters. People saw things. A pop-up, a strange login prompt, a vendor call, a change request, a quick fix that didn't get documented. Treat memory like volatile data. Capture it early. Identify the discoverer of the incident, administrators who logged in, anyone who changed permissions, and any third-party support involved. Get short, factual statements. What they saw, what they did, exact times, and what tools they ran. Avoid leading questions. You're recording, not prosecuting. In our ransomware case, a single note, "I approved an MFA reset at 8:55, can explain how access was gained. Preserve communications that establish timeline and intent, tickets, chats, emails, and screenshots. Your handoff is a deliverable. Build a package the DFIR, digital forensics and incident response team, or legal or auditors can use without guessing. Include a one-page timeline, the incident log, an evidence inventory with IDs and hashes, chain of custody records, and notes on what was isolated, powered down, or modified. Document business decisions too. We blocked outbound SMB to stop spread, or we rebooted this host due to safety risk. If a full forensic exam never happens, your package may be all the organization has to defend itself in civil litigation, regulatory review, or criminal referral. Good first response doesn't require perfect tools. It requires disciplined process. Let's close with the mistakes that most often ruin cases. First, rebooting or fixing before you document. This destroys volatile data and scrambles timelines. Second, running cleanup tools on the affected system. You might erase attacker artifacts and change timestamps. Third, letting logs roll over because no one paused retention. Fourth, poor access control. Too many admins logging in with shared accounts. And fifth, weak documentation. If it isn't written down, it didn't happen. So here's your checklist. Restrict access, start the incident log, document the scene, isolate thoughtfully, preserve volatile data if trained, preserve durable logs and snapshots, hash what you collect, and maintain chain of custody. That's how you preserve truth before the specialists arrive. That's it for this video. If you learned anything, please remember to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And until next time, be careful what you click.